when you set personal goals, you got to go really deep inside. It's very easy just to come up with a number, say, oh, I want to make 150,000 this year. You know, this is what I want to make. Sometimes we come up with that number, we have no idea why we want to make that. Okay, we just say, oh, I just want to make it because it sounds good. So then we're going after something that we don't really, isn't going to bring us necessarily happiness. So I think when we set personal goals, it's harder because we have to really go inside and look at actually what do I really want? What do I really want? I think what makes us happy is progress. We talk about that. Tony Robbins talks about that all the time. We're not really happy if we're not progressing. And really that's all that success is. So we have to be looking at the most important areas of our life and just understanding, are we just getting better? Are we growing? Or are we going backwards? Well, you don't stay the same, either going forward or going backwards. So it's really, I think as long as we're trying to identify and figure out how can we just get better as individuals and grow in all areas of our life, then we're going to feel better. And how can we contribute? I think growth and contribution are two things that are so incredibly important in life. And if we stop looking at it's like, oh, well, what can I do for, it's all about me, or what can I do for me? That's a very selfish. But if we can focus on two things, in growth and contribution, okay, and it goes back to that Zig Ziglar thing, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll have all that you need, or as much as you want. It's that same thing. So if you focus on those two things, good things will happen to you. So just that growth and contribution. Because somebody that I follow a lot, and he talked about it, he was giving a speech that he used to hang out with people that were older in their life, later on in their life. So when he was at an airport, airplane, whatever, he would look at somebody that was in the later years of their life. And they would never say, oh, I wish I made an extra $100,000. They would never say that. Or I wish I did, they would always look back and the things, I wish I would have spent more time with the kids. I wish I would have taken more trips. I wish I would have maybe risked that and gone after that instead of being scared. So, in the business world and what we're trying to do, that stuff that we think matters, I mean, it does matter because you got to pay the bills, right? You got to provide for your family. I get that, okay? But we can't make that the most important thing, because at the end of our life, we're going to look back, and if we made that the most important thing, then what happens is we're going to miss out on a ton. We're going to miss out on a ton of things. If you make that the most important thing, I mean, it kind of gets me emotional thinking about it. If that's your focus, like, oh, I want to make this much money, and you come home and you're just focused, you're focused on that, but then I get emotional. Your boy's out there playing basketball by himself. And you make the choice, I think I could just make a few more calls. I think I should just check my email one more time. And you miss out on that opportunity to say, you know what, this is more important right now because I had the daytime to get it done, and I needed to get it done there. Maybe I didn't this and that. And you miss out playing hoop with your boy. Before you know it, your boy's 18, 19, he's out of the house. You're like, darn it, I should have played more games of horse. Goal, I mean, it could be a goal to make $1 million. But there's people out there that are making $1 million. Well, there's a lot of people making $1 million that their life is completely screwed up. But there's also people that are making $1 million out there and they have an incredible life. And they're being incredible husbands, they're living a healthy life, they're doing amazing things. So sometimes what we do, I think we have a tendency to also look at money the wrong way. We say, oh, well, if I make this much money, okay, this is where this is where that story thing comes up. Oh, if I go for this much money, this is what this means. That my other life or my lifestyle or my family is going to suffer, right? So then what we do is we get scared and we don't set the expectations of the bar high to make more money, because we feel that it's going to infiltrate in the other areas of our life, and we don't want to do that. Does that make sense? But if you have a clear plan and a clear system to make sure that doesn't happen, you can go for that high income, because you got everything kind of under control, because you've identified the key areas and you know what you need to do. If you have no idea, if you're like, I just want to make $1 million and I'm going to do whatever the heck it takes to get that done, well, yeah, that's a disaster. Because you can make $1 million and then you forget about your wife, you forget about the kids, and now you got $1 million.